What's happening, guys? Welcome into another breakdown and prediction show for this weekend's hotly anticipated clash between one of the standout prospects in the lightweight division right now, Ryan Garcia, and former Olympic gold medalist Luke Campbell, and what should be a terrific fight over in the American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas this weekend. Ryan Garcia enters this fight as the sizable minus 350 favourite heading into this one, and that's a huge line considering this is Garcia's first serious jump up in quality so far over his career. Coming in at a plus 250, this isn't the first time Luke Campbell has been disrespected on the Vegas odds line, but it is perhaps the first time against such a young and relatively untested opponent as Ryan Garcia. So it's definitely an interesting fight. The 33-year-old Campbell has lost only 3 times over the course of his career so far. Once to Vasily Lomachenko, the former pound-for-pound number 1, obviously. And he caused serious problems against him as well. And the other one was Jorge Linares, handed him a loss in a fight many observers felt he could have got the nod in. And again, once to Ivan Mendy, a loss he avenged 3 years later. Garcia is nowhere near that level of resume heading into this fight, with his best win arguably coming against Jason Velez 2 years ago, a fight in which he was pushed the distance in. Carlos Morales was another close decision victory for Garcia in the fight immediately following that Velez win. And Garcia faded badly down the stretch in that fight, something which British fighter Luke Campbell will no doubt be aware of heading into this one. But the difference between that version of Ryan Garcia and the one facing Luke Campbell on Saturday night is markedly different. Since hooking up with Canelo's trainer Eddie Reynoso, Garcia has 4 straight KOs from his last 4 fights. And he looks like a far superior fighter to the one we seen in against Carlos Morales 2 years ago. That newfound regime in power is going to be a major concern for Campbell in this one. The British fighter took an early bath against Jorge Linares in their fight 3 years ago, with the Venezuelan fighter putting him down with a beautiful straight right hand that connected flush. And Campbell also went down against Ivan Mendy in his first loss as well. So Ryan Garcia definitely has the power and the ability to create some serious problems for Campbell here. Usually when we look to analyse these type of fights, we know exactly what will happen if a fighter fights in a particular fashion. Anthony Joshua versus Kubrat Pulev, for example. The problem is in working out exactly how that fighter is going to approach the fight and in what way he or she is going to set up heading into the contest as well. We don't have that issue here. Ryan Garcia is coming to stop Luke Campbell, period. This is Garcia's first fight in Texas, and that Mexican crowd will want to see a standout performance from the young 22-year-old, similar to his opening few pro fights in Tijuana. This will be a baptism of fire for Garcia against the first real quality opponent he's faced in the pros. And in front of that hostile crowd, at least to Campbell, I expect fireworks from the opening bell here. So the question heading into this one isn't the usual, how will the fighter set up? As we know already pretty much how Garcia will approach this fight. The question in this one is, can he do it? And I honestly don't know. Campbell has a very good defense. And his plan in this one surely has to be, what Carlos Morales has won, to weather that early storm from Garcia and take him into deep waters. But what a storm it's going to be for Campbell in this one. And he's never been hit with a guy who bangs as ferociously as Ryan Garcia does. Because of that, I have to side with Garcia by stoppage here at around even money, as I believe with the urgency Garcia is going to approach this fight with, the power that he possesses, and the fact we're going to get every hometown advantage possible go our way here, the stoppage is the most likely scenario in this one. Look, this is a huge fight for DAZN and Golden Boy. With 7.8 million followers on Instagram, Ryan Garcia eclipses even current top-tier established fighters like Canelo Alvarez by a couple of 100,000, UFC superstar John Jones by around 2.3 million followers. So he's a superstar right now. Those guys have full careers behind them. And Garcia hasn't even really started yet. At 22, the sky is the limit for Ryan Garcia here. And a blowout win in style on Saturday night would cement that future and be a massive corporate boost for all the companies involved in the promotion of the young superstar. So I think Garcia will get every benefit of the doubt in Texas on Saturday. And if Campbell gets himself in any sort of trouble here at all, a Garcia barrage of unanswered punches, for example, Garcia won't even have to knock his man down to get the stoppage in this one. And that will likely be all she wrote for the British fighter. For that reason, I will stick a 3% free play on Ryan Garcia by stoppage on Saturday night at around even money, as I said, as I like the value in that prop, and I see that's the way things will turn out. That'll wrap things up for this edition of the Boxing Prediction Show. As always, leave us your thoughts, and you can also catch me over on Twitter at the SportsWolf83, and at my handicapper page, Kevin Dolan over at WagerTalk. We'll be back for January 30th, big cards across the globe featuring Sergey Kovalev, Caleb Plant, Josh Kelly, among others. So stay tuned for that, and until then, thanks for listening, and Slán Abhaile.